Mentioned very interesting element to it all. Okay, you mentioned data. All right, all the sensors, all the technology we have now that, data coming from different sources, right? Company learning how to
Mhm.
monetize, right? All the
Mhm.
data insights.
Mhm.
But I'm always asking my questions because I am a person of action, all right? And just consuming the data, we know it's hurting the business, it's spending resources where they don't need to spend them, so on and so forth. So
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you about some of these huge pains out there, okay, just sitting on all that data, right, and thinking I'm data driven and I'm doing all the
Mhm.
right things. At the same time, right, how about data to action? What kind of, again, processes, what kind of ecosystem every company needs to think about that you're really utilizing, because everyone's short on resources now, short on budgets, right? How
Mhm.
do you optimize that really sweet spot for your company, for your business, where you
Mhm.
take data into account, but hey, you're taking action with it?
Mhm. I absolutely agree. And this is one of the biggest issues out there. You named it already. We have on the other side, we have the pressure. Yeah, we have the pressure. We have. I don't like this word, but again, we have to talk about it. We have the poly crisis out there, inflation, energy issues, and so on. On the other hand, we have as well the leaders and their teams because they have to deliver results because a company has to be profitable. This is still the case even in 2023, and this won't change in the near future. So, if I understand you right, or understood you right in this case, mm, what I see is that most companies have, uh, let's call it a big amount of data, but they cannot monetize it or they cannot use it in the right way. And let me give you a simple example. Um, and don't go to the large or technology driven companies. Let's go into a traditional branch or to a traditional sector, to a medium sized company around 300 to 400 staff. So they had, let's keep it simple, they had a CRM system, for example, where they collected, it was around 40 or 45,000 contacts. And of course, the majority of these contacts were, let's call it, dead. Not the people were dead or the contacts were dead, but nobody used this amount of data. Nobody was using that. So we brought in the technology and said, hey guys, you're potentially working with 10% of these data to make your business. So what is about the other 90%? So, and we used the technology, AI driven, and these technology were not filtering, but let's see it, analyzing these 90% of the data. And to make a long story short, we were be able within 8 weeks to identify from these dead contacts 2 million of additional opportunities, business opportunities. And this is for a medium-sized company, an extra sales you won't miss.
Here we go. What's the advice? What's the advice? Because I'm sure every company out there, I can make that statement, okay? Every company out there really working with what working for them. And it's 10%, 5%. It's really tiny percent of what they really own,
Mm.
all right? So
Mm.
how do you think, the mind change need to think? Because again, they don't have time, right? It's, what is it? The work day is
Yeah,
what it is, right?
yeah.
So why would you encourage people to look beyond what's familiar, because everyone knows their business, I hope, well, right? But beyond what they're not tapping into right now, like in your example, what's the advice? How can
Mm.
they kind of, start leveraging that data?
Yeah, it's a good question. Of course, you cannot give a general answer because it depends on the current
Of course.
situation
Yeah.
of each company. But my experience is, and this is what I see across the globe,
Hmm.
I see still a lot of fear. I see still a lot of fear within the companies and especially in the leadership team. And my experience or my yeah, yeah gives me two major reasons for that. On the one hand, of course, you named it already, it is this pressure providing or delivering results. And of course, I can understand this. If you're in such a situation, for example, and you have you are quarterly driven, especially when you're at the public market, but even when you're in the private market, you are quarterly driven and you have to deliver results as a leader. You don't want to do any mistake. I can understand this from this point of view. On the other hand, it is a very short-term thinking, because postponing all these innovation and streamlining process, or even digital business structure, as a inventing or creating entire new business models, you cannot postpone this every time. And I would love to give you a simple example by that. In 2017 or 2018, the people, the leaders where I was in a discussion with, gave me the argument, especially from traditional sectors, oh, Mike, yes, you are absolutely right. We should do this, but, and then the but was, we have to focus on our clients first. We have to deliver our products. We have to deliver our service. And I said, yes, don't worry. This shouldn't be cancelled. Yeah, we have to do one thing, and at the same time, we have to do the other thing as well. Of course, this argument at that time was, let's call it, valid. And now 2020 or even 2023, they say, oh, no, Mike, we have to postpone this or that thing, because now we have this poly crisis on the table, and we have to focus again on our customers, and. Sorry, these are for me excuses, and these are for me simply called fear, because what I see between the lines is not so much about, yeah, we have to focus on the clients, sorry, or the customers. Every company has to focus on the customer, because we solve a problem for our customers, and this is the reason why we exist as a company. So thinking a little bit further and getting away from this short-term thinking in the mid and long term, the future of the company, and this means also attracting the right talent to get it into the company, to make it future ready. It's not possible to postpone every time and to use all the time the argument, you will have to focus on the customer first, or we have this challenge in our framework conditions, or that challenge. I'm sorry, this will last until the end of my days. Until the end of your days. I'm sorry, this is for me just
so true, so true.